Well, hello my friends, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Snipey, and it's a pleasure to have you. Today's topic is not a friendly one, it's not a good one, it's not one I'm happy about. I've taken a couple days to get on this because I had a lot of anger towards the situation. I'm talking about the recent news that people were sending threats to Masahiro Sakurai, my second daddy, on account of there being a certain character not in the game, and some hate to do with the fact that the game apparently appears to be a port of the Wii U. First off, I want to address the less important of the two, which is it being a port of the Wii U. I played Smash Bros. 4 recently. I play a lot of Smash Bros. 4 in general. I have over 300 hours in the game. I know how it looks. I know what the textures on the characters look like. I know what the backgrounds look like. And if the gameplay that we saw at E3 is in fact the in-game graphics of Smash Ultimate, it is clearly a better looking game. Now maybe some of the assets have been used, but they've clearly been altered and improved. Things like the character models, if you look at them up close, especially certain characters obviously don't look that different, and honestly, you can't expect even in the future that these character models like Mario's are gonna look a whole lot different. They are gonna hit a peak with his character model. But even when you compare Smash 4 with the character model in Ultimate, you can see that it's smoother, that there's more dynamic lighting on it, that the texturing is better, that there is just a glow to the characters that looks superior. And then when you get into characters like Ganondorf, which looks completely different, absolutely different character model, he actually looks closer to what he looked like in Ocarina of Time. You look at Bowser, same thing, a whole lot more detail. Each character has different versions of themselves, and I think that that's awesome. Then we look at the level design and it's just amazing. You look at Battlefield, the first level they show you, tons of detail in the background. The original Battlefield had, some floating fortressy looking stuff with flags waving in the background with some bloom effect. Looked really great. But comparing to this, it's night and day. There is a full waterfall scene in the background, and I'm sorry, that requires more processing. And the fact that every level is in this game and has that kind of detail. Every character has that kind of detail. Anyway, I'm not going to say any more about that because I firmly believe that this game is way more beautiful than the Wii U version. Now that's not to downplay how beautiful the Wii U version still is, but it just seems a lot cleaner across the board. Moving on to the more important topic here, I'm really sad and angry at these so-called fans that have reached out to Masahiro Sakurai on Twitter and actually sent death threats. I mean, it's just a lot of hate being sent his way about this one character, but the fact that some have threatened his life is outrageous and disgusting. I don't care what a developer does. I don't care if Masahiro Sakurai gave us another Brawl. There's still no reason, no excuse to threaten a man's life. Then when we look at why people have sent these death threats, it makes it even more pitiful. The fact that Waluigi is still not a playable character. Now, I'm not coming from a place of not being able to relate. I've wanted Waluigi in the game since Brawl, when they introduced him as a trophy. I even voted for him during the Wii U generation as a character I wanted to see in the game, never thinking about what his mechanics would be like or how he would play. And Masahiro Sakurai back then said that Waluigi would never be in a Smash Bros. Game, and I found that so aggravating. But I agree with his reasoning, especially now. I haven't thought about it in years, but Waluigi has never had his own game. He's never been featured in a main staple Mario game. Now I will say that Nintendo, it's time. It's time that you guys make a Wario Land where Waluigi is featured, or make a Mario game where Waluigi is featured. Maybe as a bad guy or as a protagonist that you can play as, I don't know. It's not really the point here. There is no game like this yet, therefore there are no mechanics to really pull from to have him be a cohesive character with great moves. Yes, you could pull a little bit from Mario Tennis, Mario Golf, maybe his finisher, he could jump into a Mario Kart and run you over, but that just sounds kind of lame. But I'll tell you guys one thing. In my opinion, I don't think that these threats came from any hardcore players, because all the hardcore players, all the competitive players that I've spoken to are ecstatic. The fact that the game looks so great, the fact that Masahiro Sakurai has taken into consideration the wants and needs of competitive players, the fact that there's every level and every character in this game. It's just a celebration of the series, so what's not to like? No, these threats came from immature children, and for those adults who might have sent out these threats, all of you should be ashamed of yourselves. I'm just glad that Masahiro Sakurai wouldn't take this game away from us. Not that he truly has the power to, but I'm sure he could do something to really screw us over. But he's not gonna let the wrongdoings of these few destroy the fun for the many that are looking forward to this game. I'm just super ashamed. I mean, I'm glad I'm not one of these people, but it's disturbing that this was your way of expressing your dislike with his decision. It just leaves me sad and angry. I want to be Sakurai's bodyguard now. Anyway guys, that's the end of this video. If you liked it, you know what to do, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy, my dudes.